Have you ever felt a lie before you heard it? It's a cold spot in the room, a shift in the air that makes the hair on your arms stand up. For me, it started with the scent of unfamiliar cologne on a Tuesday night, clinging to my wife's hair like a ghost. I was sitting on the edge of our bed, the blue glow of my phone screen illuminating the space where she should have been hours ago. The front door clicked open, and then shut with a softness that was too careful, too practiced. She walked in, avoiding my eyes, and offered a flimsy story about a late client meeting at her downtown Chicago law firm. But the lie was already there, hanging between us, thick and suffocating. I knew, right then, that our life was a meticulously constructed stage, and I was the only one who didn't have the script. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The humiliation was a slow burn. It began with small things. Jessica, my wife of 10 years, started guarding her phone like it was a state secret. We'd be having dinner at our favorite spot, Gibson's Bar and Steakhouse on Rush Street, and her phone would stay face down on the table, vibrating silently. She'd glance at it, a flicker of a smile playing on her lips, and say it was just work. But her eyes held a distant, private excitement that had nothing to do with me. The strange behavior escalated. There were sudden, urgent work emergencies on weekends, trips to conferences I'd never heard of, and credit card receipts from hotels I knew her firm didn't use, like the Peninsula, with its opulent suites overlooking Michigan Avenue. When I'd ask, her voice would turn sharp, laced with a cold, manipulative edge. "Are you questioning my career, my integrity?" She'd snap, turning my concern into an accusation. She and her affair partner, who I soon discovered was Mark, a smug senior partner at her firm, felt untouchable. They'd flaunt their connection in plain sight, a shared joke in a crowd, a lingering touch on the arm at a company party that they thought no one saw. I saw. I saw everything. The emotional breakdown happened on a rainy Thursday. I was driving home listening to a voicemail from our bank about a joint savings account that was nearly empty. Jessica had been borrowing from it, she'd claimed, for a can't-miss investment. I pulled over, the city lights of Wacker Drive blurring through the rain-streaked windshield, and I just shattered. The man who had built a life on loyalty and trust was gone, replaced by a hollowed-out shell of a person, consumed by a single burning thought: revenge. That was the night the husband died, and the strategist was born. My first move was quiet. I bought her a new smartwatch for her birthday, a top-of-the-line model she'd been wanting. I set it up for her, linking it to her phone, and made a show of how convenient it all was. What she didn't know was that I had also enabled location sharing with a dummy account I controlled, hidden deep within the settings. It was my secret eye. The first ping came a week later. She told me she was staying late to prep for a big case. I watched the little dot representing my wife travel from her office on LaSalle Street, not home, but to a condo building in Lincoln Park. Mark's building? I had the address from a piece of his mail she'd carelessly left in her car. For the next 3 months, I gathered my proof. I was a ghost, collecting data. GPS logs from the watch, copies of hotel folios paid with her personal card, screenshots of her call logs showing hours-long calls with him after midnight. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop, who documented their dinner dates, their weekend getaways. The final piece of the puzzle was the legal trap. I consulted a shark of a divorce attorney, a woman known for dismantling careers. We discovered that Jessica and Mark weren't just having an affair. They were using company funds to finance it, disguising personal trips as business expenses. They were also planning to leave the firm to start their own, and my PI found evidence they were trying to poach the firm's biggest clients. The public exposure was set for the firm's annual charity gala, a massive event held at the Art Institute of Chicago. It was the pinnacle of their social and professional calendar. I arranged for a special presentation. As the firm's managing partner was giving his speech, the screens behind him, meant to show a slideshow of the year's achievements, flickered. My PI, working with the venue's AV team, had taken control. The first image that appeared was a crystal-clear photo of Jessica and Mark kissing on a hotel balcony in Miami, dated from a weekend she was supposedly at a legal retreat. The room went silent. Then came the bank statements, the GPS logs mapping her nightly trips to his condo, and finally, the emails detailing their plan to defraud the firm. It was all there, projected 10 feet high for their colleagues, their mentors, their entire world to see. Jessica's face was a mask of horror, her arrogant composure crumbling into dust. Mark looked like a cornered animal. They were ruined. The fallout was immediate. They were fired the next morning, facing a lawsuit from the firm and disbarment proceedings. Their social circle evaporated. The life they had so arrogantly built was a pile of ash. I filed for divorce the same day, the morality clause in our prenup her idea, ironically triggering a complete forfeiture of her claim to my assets. She was left with nothing but her lies. The last time I saw her, she was moving her things out of our house into a cheap rental car. The smugness was gone, replaced by a hollow, desperate look. She didn't say a word to me. She couldn't. The silence in the house is different now. It's not empty. It's clean. The end.